next is Adam Sousas of One Commons. You know, when we invited you all to DWeb Camp last year, we wondered what would happen when you got builders and artists and dreamers and philosophers and policy folks together in one place. And it's so exciting for us to see that Adam Sousas led a brainstorming session back in 2019 at DWeb Camp, and they started to brainstorm, could we build an open cloud? Well, Adam is back here 1 year later to unveil the first step toward a decentralized cloud infrastructure. He calls it One Commons. Adam, take it away.
Thank you. Hi. And yeah, so it's been quite a year for everyone, I'm sure. I'm actually cheating a bit because I'm at my office. But yeah, so I just want to, this is where we've been at. It's been talking about how to evolve in this idea of open cloud services, and we're actually building a platform for it. We just released the first piece of software for it. And so, yeah, so what are open cloud services? So cloud services are cloud services that give you all the benefits that you get from the freedom and control that you get from open source. And since it's a service, services don't just have code, they also have data. So you have to have open data. And if it's for users, private data, personal data, they have to have control of it. And then also, I mean, it's a service, so it's hosted. And so what does the concept of open hosting mean? So it means at the very minimum that the operator has the freedom to run the service where they want. So it's not dependent on proprietary cloud APIs or on proprietary services. And if you take that concept to the limit, you end up with decentralization, because people that means you can run the service wherever and whenever you want. So and the other thing about services, which as opposed to just code, is you're actually running you're running it, and you're providing a service, and there's often revenue attached. And as we all know, it's been a challenge to figure out how for open source to make money. It's hard to make money on something that you're giving away for free. So we have this idea that if open cloud services, you can take a pledge to basically give away a portion of your revenue and to the projects open source that you depend on. And then in turn, the projects that are receiving the revenue also turn around and give it to a portion of projects that they depend on. So you create this flow, but it's a choice. People are choosing what to give it to. So it's essentially like a gift economy around that. It's like you're investing in a project that you like, and you're preserving the ethos of open source. And then another thing that you can really, what happens if you're actually building these open cloud services is that, open source code and the big tech monopolies have something in common. They both come to dominate the internet because through network effects. So where open source, everyone uses each other's code, and it builds on and builds on. And now all the servers on the internet are running open source. Most of your phones are running open source. And the same with the big tech companies, the level of integration they get and the economies of scale just grow on each other. And that's why they end up dominating like that. And so if you have open cloud services, you can combine those two things together. And so we have this notion of peering arrangements. Now, the internet exists. The only reason we can talk to each other on Zoom is because the big network providers have these peering arrangements where they agree to freely share the packets between them. And so if you had the same kind of concept for open cloud services where you agree to peer them, you agree to, if data is open, and so share the data, share the cost, and integrate the services, we can start they would start to trying to get the same kind of effect. So I think the possibility that really excites me about it is this idea that we could do something that is competitive with these big tech monopolies. And so the first piece of technology that we've literally just released, this website unfurl.run, is the idea of ensembles, which are building blocks for building open cloud services. They're Git repositories that know how to deploy themselves. So they're reproducible, shareable, forkable. They're decentralized in the sense that their identity is not tied to a location. They can be moved around. Their identity is tied to this reproducible state that they're at. And and the other thing is interesting, since this is so nicely been hosted by Internet Archive, is that you now have a way to actually archive live services, because instead of just having to scrape the static data in archive, you could actually take these services and create an archive of that you can play back at any time. So that's kind of where we're at. And so basically, so the next step for us is building a development platform for it. And it just like GitHub is for open source projects. We hope to be the platform for open source, open cloud services. And I'll do a little pitch here. So we're a really early stage startup, but we are hiring, and we're in San Francisco. And if you want to do something really cool and open, of course, this is going to be open cloud service, so it'll be open source. Yeah, come talk to me. So that's it for, I think we're up for questions.
We have 2 minutes left for questions.
Ooh, perfect. Good.
I have a question, Adam.
Yes.
I noticed a .org at the end of One Commons. Is it a nonprofit? How are you kind of funding this effort?
Well, so one thing I should mention about the Ensemble, so basically, this is essentially a DevOps tool, and we're trying to be really pragmatic. Like, we're not asking you to rewrite whole apps. You can take the code that already exists today that's already being deployed. But so yeah, so the original vision and what we was talking about last year is it's a dual thing. So this is all open. This is, we'll hopefully would have some sort of nonprofit around the standards and protocols. But in terms of like pragmatically what we're building is we're building a platform. This technology will be great for open stuff, but it'll also be great for people building their own proprietary stuff. And again, this is how we create this ecosystem, because the money will flow from the commercial people selling it through to the open source developers. And this pledge we're talking about will be a pledge as part of our platform. So yeah, we're basically, like I said, an early stage startup. We're have some funding, and we're hopefully gonna get more. I just think that's, again, we're trying to be pragmatic is ultimately where we're coming from.
Okay, any other questions for Adam? Great. Well, thank you so much, Adam.
Thank you.
It's exciting to see how far you've come from DWeb Camp just a year ago.
What made should I ask a question about the pricing model, or go
Sure, go ahead.
Well, again, so I mean, this is early stages. We're trying to figure out, but this idea is that, people say, hey, I'm going to give 10% of my revenue. They get to choose where it goes and who it goes to, as long as it's just something they depend on. And so again, it's the idea of a gift economy. Open source, we don't want to ruin the ethos of open source by making it be like everyone starts gaming how much money they make and what's going to optimize. I mean, part of the idea is to change the incentives, the economic incentives that have made all these unhealthy things on the internet. So the idea is, it's a gift economy. You besides this fixed amount that you're agreeing, you get to choose, and then everyone gets to choose and flow it through.
So much.
Okay, we're out of time.
Great.
Perfect timing. In addition to One Commons, our friends at Handshake are also trying to figure out a way to remunerate open source coders. And I think we have one more project tonight, Fluence.